Welcome, everyone, to the What's Left podcast. My name is John. I'm here with Jake and Brad. We are the punk rock garage band podcast, adding our voices to resistance as loudly as we can here on the Derealization Nation Media Network. It is Conspiracy Theory Sunday, but as we have been saying and continue to say, there is no one with any platform, no matter how big or small, that should start any day or show without talking a little bit about what is happening in Gaza. So we're gonna start with a little couple videos. Sadly enough, but we do have to uh, show and acknowledge these things. I don't know if in case somebody's missing them. Uh, I thought this one's pretty on the nose.
I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces shooting at the crowds of Palestinians. I witnessed the Israeli Defense Forces firing a main gun tank round from the Markava tank into a crowd of people, destroying a car of civilians that were simply driving away from the site. I witnessed artillery rounds landing at the intersection of the Marag corridor and the coastal road. I witnessed mortar rounds being fired at the crowds of people to keep them controlled onto the Marag corridor in the south. My professional opinion of how the sites were established was what I would describe as amateur, inexperienced, untrained, no idea of how to conduct operations of this magnitude. That would be my most benign assessment. In my most frank assessment, I would say that they're criminal. In my entire career, have I never witnessed the level of brutality and use of indiscriminate and unnecessary force against a civilian population, an unarmed, starving population. I've never witnessed that in all of the places I've been deployed to war until I was in Gaza at the hands of the IDF and U.S. contractors.
The Gaza Humanitarian Foundation has called allegations made by Anthony Aguilar categorically false and said he was a disgruntled former contractor who was terminated for misconduct, which he denies. The Israel Defense Forces said the IDF have conducted...
Gives a fuck what the IDF says. I'll be quite frank. Like, I don't give a shit. Like, they clearly are lying. We see this shit all the time. All you need is videos.
They're protecting a war criminal.
Yeah, 100%. Did you guys see the Netanyahu who was on with those fucking mush brains, the Nelk boys? Do you know who they are?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Podcast bros.
Yeah, they're podcast bros. Two of the dumbest of the podcast bros. And they have him on, and so they not only do they let him railroad him about fucking Gaza and Israel and just fucking, then they ask him a question about whether he prefers McDonald's or McDonald's or Burger King. The man who's starving Palestinians, they ask him whether he prefers McDonald's or Burger King. Like there is a reason that these fucking bozos use these podcast bros, and it is because they know they can go on there and get away with shit like that. Only on that podcast can you go on there as a goddamn war criminal in the midst of committing war crimes and be asked about the Whopper versus the Big Mac. It is the most American thing ever. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it sounds right up America's alley.
Jesus Christ. Like having a health secretary fucking talking about how switching Coke to regular sugar is some kind of health win. Like, what the fuck is that? I mean, only in America is like Steak and Shakes changing of fucking oil to beef tallow a win. Only in America can you go on a fucking idiot's podcast as a war criminal and not be fucking asked about your war crimes. These airdrops that they're doing, obviously, like I've been saying, they're death traps, and I assume that they will be. But the first ones were now guarded by the IDF. So they immediately surrounded the aid. So it is about as useful as the aid sitting outside the gates of the city, sitting on the border waiting to go in. Enough for 3 months worth of food and aid. And it's just sitting there and it's not being used. Now these airdrops are sitting there and not being used as well. So fucking don't tell me about that shit either. I don't know how fucking stupid they think we are, but apparently they think we're pretty goddamn dumb.
I did see that Jordan and the UAE are dropping into the water. They're dropping aid into the water off the coast.
Yeah, those are some civilians. That was kind of cool. You mean like they were filling up like pop bottles with rice and lentils and shit?
No, Jordan and the United Arab Emirates actual like airdropped aid today
That's good. That's good.
into the water behind. You know what I mean? On
Mm-hmm.
the backside, at least. And it actually showed civilians getting to it. Whether or not that was immediately shut down, you know what I mean? I don't know. But the country of Jordan and the UAE both airdropped. Whether
Yeah.
it was today or yesterday, I'm not sure, but they're making an attempt. The UAE is obviously still shit people, but at least somebody's trying something to give these people food and water.
Yeah. So it is nice that they're trying. But obviously, like the flotilla was, of course, disrupted. They're attacking fishing boats uh, out there. People trying to just fish. Um, we got 1 in 5 Gazans have been killed since October 7th, and I just thought this was crazy. So 1 in 5 Gazans have been killed since October 7th, right? And remember when October 7th happened, they were like, this is like 9/11 for the United States, right? Well, 1 in 5 Gazans for the United States will be the equivalent of 70 million Americans. The destruction that has been visited upon Gaza would be the equivalent, hear me, 70 million Americans.
Imagine a year and a half from now, we wake up and 20% of our population that we had today is gone.
Yeah, that's exactly what that is.
20%. So 1 in every 5 people you know are gone.
Yeah.
Insane.
Fucking insane. Fucking insane. President Obama and Hillary Clinton both sent out messages about Gaza today. They were equally milquetoast. I could never been like Obama recently between the I don't usually respond to the nonsense coming out of the White House. These are not ordinary times, and you have an outsized amount of influence. To not be more outspoken at this point is it's a failure of leadership. Like I know you're the former president, and in most cases, like by all means, retire. I know it was a hard, like some of the hardest 8 years that any person ever puts into their fucking life. Uh, but come on, for Christ's sakes.
Dude, if Barack Obama went in front of America and said Benjamin Netanyahu is a war criminal, we need to free Palestine, Donald Trump would nuke Palestine tomorrow.
Yeah, 100%.
His administration would be like, hell no, Barack Obama thinks we should free Palestine. We should blow them off the map. Fuck them. They're stupid.
Yeah.
But also, you got to remember,
Yeah.
he didn't really do anything to stop Israel when he was president either.
No, that's the thing. Like, Netanyahu has been running every American president around by the nose since long before Donald Trump.
Right. Like, we might be the richest country in the world, but we have a boss, and I think it's Betty.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he thinks it's him.
Yeah, with the way he's fucking around with our money, he might be right.
Mm-hmm. He might be right. So, yeah, that's it. And then, so what has President Trump said about this? He said that Netanyahu needed to hurry up and finish the job. Finish the job. So that's nice. That's what you want to hear from a fucking world leader. And he said that the United States has sent 60 million in aid, and nobody has said thank you.
Wow.
Big surprise there, right?
I know. Hey, I know you guys are being bobbed into oblivion, but like a phone call would be cool.
Yeah, did you even say thanks?
Right.
That's what I want you to say thank you for.
Yeah. How about your kids show a little fucking gratitude and send a fucking letter or something?
It's unbelievable.
He's disgusting.
Yeah, he makes me fucking sick. Makes me fucking sick. It's not the only person he makes sick, though. He made all of Scotland sick. I got that over the weekend.
I
Um,
did.
Yeah, I love
oh,
Scotland. I love Scotland. I'm glad.
hell yeah.
Did you see him
They,
cheating at golf?
yeah, I actually have the video.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's like those fucking guys who played in that scramble yesterday, motherfuckers.
what do they end up shooting? 55?
50, 55.
Yeah. I bet it looks something like this. Oh, how discreet. He's the president of the United States. You can't hire better cheaters than that.
Man, they make the thing now you can attach to your sock that holds a ball in it. And you just like scratch your leg and a ball falls out.
Why do you know that?
It's advertised on my TikTok.
Sure,
You know I'm
sure.
not wearing pants at a golf course.
That's true. That's true. But if you ever are, now I'll fucking know.
Yeah, then I'm definitely cheating. And then I'd only beat you by 17 strokes.
I had nothing to say to that. I had nothing to say to that.
Yeah, Donald Trump is cheating at golf. Like, it's just so funny to me. Bro, I've watched him just putting. That's how you can tell if anybody's even remotely decent at golf, is what their putter stroke looks like. You can tell he's not a golfer, bro. Like, he is a golfer in the fact that he golfs.
Dude, he swings the fucking putter.
Dude, it's wild.
It's fucking insane. Fucking insane. He's the worst. That was hardly the worst of like they bro, they dragged him so hard. Every third sign said the word cunt on
Dude,
it.
it's so funny.
He deserves every minute of it because he's a goddamn pedophile.
Right.
Wait. Let me TikTok code this. He fucking, I don't know, eats grapes. How does that? I don't even know how to do that. Like, how do I?
Yeah, he's a grapist.
A grapist
Mm-hmm.
of small people. I don't know. I don't know how to do it. I guess we're just not gonna have.
Yeah, we just can't have that clip on TikTok because they'll fucking ban us forever.
Yeah, no.
Scotland.
So yeah, Scotland
That
did.
was his golf course, correct?
Yeah, that's his golf course. He's out there and he's always complaining. That's one he's always complaining about the windmills. That's the one where they built the windmills outside of it, and that's like why he's so obsessed with the idea of windmills.
What a
So
job.
yeah, he's fucking crazy. He went on like a whole rant. His every press conference is just more unhinged. He hasn't formed a coherent sentence in like 6 months. It's
That
just
sounds right.
yeah, it's just ridiculous. All right. Oh, and just a quick update to our what do you call? I don't even know how to say it. The our last video about the GOP being the guardians of pedophiles. Jason Yates, the CEO of My Faith Votes, was arrested, charged, and pled guilty to possession of child pornography. So
Oh, imagine that.
put him on the list. It's a
Imagine
different list,
that.
another list. They have several lists. And it's estimated now that quietly the Trump administration spent $934 million retrofitting the golden airplane from Qatar to be Air Force One. It's leaked out. It's not confirmed yet, but whatever it is, they found money moving quietly in that direction. So yeah.
Ew.
Of course. Why wouldn't we spend $1 billion fucking dollars for a
Billion's
plane that's going to go to
nothing.
Trump?
Yeah.
Billion doesn't. I'm like desensitized to the word billion.
Yeah, I know. Isn't that crazy? Because it's 1,000 million.
Yeah. It's like,
which is an unimaginable number.
if we were to say like trillion, I'd be like, oh, we're getting crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, but no, like 1 billion is crazy. So yeah, because it was supposed to be, remember, it was saving the taxpayers money. So obviously.
I remember that word. I remember that. Hey, That's truly an insane amount of money if you think about it. Like I know that billion doesn't sound like a lot of money, but when you're talking about just simply like updating a plane, that's crazy.
Well, that's I mean it's because of the Air Force One. It's so much cheaper to just build a new one because like in order to make an Air Force One, you have to pick it apart bolt by bolt
Right.
and put it back together because you can't be too sure that like every bolt could be a camera, you know?
Yep.
Or
So you can't do it. And one more update from last week here is Vladimir Putin telling the world that he helped Donald Trump cheat on the election and why.
Did you want
legal
President
framework.
Trump to win the election, and did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Да, я хотел, чтобы он выиграл. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. Because he talked about bringing the U.S.-Russia relationship back to normal.
We can report tonight that the White House video of this exchange has also skillfully cut out that question from the Reuters reporter as if it didn't happen. So I'll show you them back to back here. I'll show you the real one first, and then I'll show you what the White House has posted online instead. Here first is the real one.
Options abound, and they all can be found in an
President
appropriate
Putin, did you want
legal
President
framework.
Trump to win the election, and did you direct any of your officials to help him do that?
Да, я хотел, чтобы он выиграл. Yes, I did. Yes, I did.
Yeah. So I guess he did. That was not President Obama. That was Vladimir Putin.
Right.
In case there was any confusion.
Imagine that. Like we said, like we know, brother. We know. We just know the gig is up.
All right. That's enough news for a Sunday. Let's get to the real reason we're here.
Fuck yeah.
Well, the real reason y'all are here. The
Yes.
easiest night of my week. It's time now for conspiracy theories. I would play the X-Files things. But I think that would be copyright infringement, so we'll probably just not. But if you would just take a quiet moment to imagine the X-Files theme. And here we go. All right. Who wants to start today? I know you both want to start today.
I'll let Jake go first. Also, you should definitely start it with the soundbite of "You want the truth?"
You can't handle the truth.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll go first then.
Yeah, go
No
ahead.
problem. Mine are the birds aren't real movement.
Yeah.
Now, if you don't know, the birds aren't real. It's a movement where smart people understand that the government has replaced our birds with drones. And 1969 to 2001, our government gassed all these birds.
Wait, when?
1969 to 2001. We've
So,
been
right.
killing birds, 12 billion birds, and replacing them with drones. And these drones are used to spy on the American people. It came up again recently because of the new leader, Peter. I can't pronounce his last name. I think it's McDowell. Peter
Mhm.
McDowell. And he started all these rallies. They protested in front of Twitter, trying to make them change their logo. They in New York City, they were protesting and saying the mayor needs to shut down every bird in New York City. The proof that we have here, the proof that
The proof.
That
We
we
have,
have-
good.
you can
Oh,
look-
good. There's proof.
the proof that we have, because you can look out the window and see this happening right before your eyes, is they're charging their batteries on our power lines. Their 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 poop, it lands on your car. That's not by mistake. Their poop has tracking devices inside of it, so they can track your movements from place to place. There's no baby pigeons. How many baby pigeons have you seen?
Zero?
Zero. Exactly. You can't think of a time where you've seen a baby pigeon. Because guess what? They come out of the factory fully grown.
Jay, people raise pigeons.
Each state has a state bird. Why? That's a little bit weird.
They got a
State
state
bird.
flower too.
State bird. The bald eagle.
Oh shit. Yeah. What
The
about the
symbol,
ball?
the
The
symbol of
bald
freedom in
eagle
America.
is a symbol of America and freedom.
Yeah.
Spy. The company logos. You have Twitter and NSM, whatever, the SPM, whatever. Multiple more. All use birds. Presidents don't talk. They tweet. Why would they? I can't get through this one. I can't, we're good. We're good. There's been ex-CIA agents who confess their crimes and what they've done with the birds. JFK's assassination was due to his reluctance to continue the genocide of birds.
Now it's all starting to make sense, isn't it, John?
Yeah, it's really tying together somehow.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together. And if you've heard their logos, like if it flies, it spies,
Yeah.
or bird watching goes both ways.
Bird watching goes both ways.
Yeah. So this is some serious stuff.
You've never seen a bird with binoculars looking back at you, bro. You've never seen that.
They don't need binoculars because their eyes are cameras and it has zoom in them. And I'm assuming they're Android cameras because they're better cameras.
They're not even using iPhone technology.
No, iPhone would have no part in this.
No, probably not. No, because if they were iPhone, they would need updated like every third fucking week. Every third week, every bird would migrate away to be updated.
So there is a diagram displaying like how the
Oh no, there
birds
isn't.
fly and it's connected to the parts and has like the inner parts. But this was all actually a whole thing created by Peter and his friends to show people how conspiracy theories are a place where people go where they're confused, when they don't know who to talk to, and it opens conversation. So instead of confrontation, there's empathy and ideas, and you can talk about things without being judged or have an opinion on something without it being shut down immediately. So it was a whole satire on conspiracy theories. But I just love this whole conspiracy. It's so freaking funny to me. But yeah. That's mine.
I love that, and
It's so funny.
I believe every word you said.
Oh
There's
my
people, people still believe it. Just because
Yeah.
it's a satire,
Right.
like they'll say like when it was reported on the news. So this made 60 minutes. This made like he did a TED talk, but it was like him confessing. But like so much media like took this on, and there is no way that people do not believe this for real.
There are
You
definitely
know
some people that think.
You know people. There's plenty of Reddit groups. You know, I deep dived into Reddit. Whenever I look up a conspiracy theory, you got to go to Reddit because that's where you find the truth. Because no one lies on Reddit.
Nobody's ever lied on Reddit.
No one's ever lied on Reddit.
That's true.
Ever.
That's
But
true.
there's still groups that follow and will post videos, stuff like that, claiming that it's still real. The birds aren't real. Birds scare the crap out of me. They freak me out. So I love saying that birds aren't real.
Yeah. I mean, I can't get on board with this one. But what freaks me
Why?
out?
What's stopping you from getting on board? Let's get to that route.
Dead birds?
Okay, their batteries died. They didn't get the charging.
Mushed birds on the side of the road. Mushed up birds.
They still have.
You all spend too much time
surrounding.
You got to get out of your car. You got to walk. You got to be a man of the municipalities. You got to get on the sidewalk. You know what I mean? You got to ride your bike sometimes. You got to take in the nature and smell the dead animals. Okay? Like, they're real.
You think we're dumb enough to have the entire robot? That would be so easy to identify. You can't have the entire skeletal structure of a robot.
It's just like a Westworld thing.
Has to have a layer of other substance around it.
It's just
And
so
it's not like it's this crazy giant device. It's very tiny. It's like a little microscope. Like the same ones they put in our vaccines.
Oh my God. That's it. We're done. Never again. Oh, hell no. Oh, what scares me is there's people that believe this shit. That's what scares me. Words are a little weird, but people believing this shit is so much worse.
That was hilarious.
Oh my God. I
I love this stuff.
so bad. Uh
So,
so go ahead.
my only question, because like I said, firm believer now. The birds obviously aren't real. My only question is, do they just give up on spying in the winter months in the north?
That's what I'm thinking. Like they have this like systematic, like maybe they could be even solar powered,
Okay.
or they have to like follow like the stronger sunlight, and if they don't, that's why they die in the winter.
Yeah.
They obviously have their routes that they need to stick to.
Yeah.
Right.
Everybody covered ground.
They just know everybody up north is just taking vitamin D and C and praying that they make it through another day in the wintertime.
Right. If your doctor doesn't prescribe you vitamin D in Ohio, I'd be shocked.
Right.
Well, see, your boy with the vaccines and the coding and RFK, like that's his thing now is like they're bringing back the sun. They want people back in the sun.
Oh, the sun's coming back because we have a lower layer protecting our Earth. So yeah, you're gonna get the sun. Don't worry.
Well,
Sun's coming for you.
they want people out in it. As the UV rays become more dangerous, they want to roll back the idea, all of the things, all of these woke ideas like don't get skin cancer.
Mm-hmm.
They're
Mm-hmm.
rolling those back.
Mm-hmm.
You know, no more of that woke bullshit. Go out there and get you some good old fashioned fucking cancer.
That crazy mole growing on your arm, ignore it.
Absolutely.
Ignore
Absolutely. It's supposed to have eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's
Mm-hmm.
It's great for America. Just crazy. We are going back, guys. You're right. We are going back.
yeah.
I know. I can't wait till they release the bird footage so we can see in real time how far back we just go.
Insane aerial shots of every major event.
Yeah, how do they do that? And now we made drones like they didn't exist already.
So I guess for me, I was gonna go with the flat Earth thing this week. But for reasons like this, I couldn't.
What, like mine?
Yeah, just because like you start to hear this stuff and like it's just so out there.
John, the Earth is flat. Don't be an idiot.
Honestly. And yeah, the birds are outside.
The Earth is not flat.
Okay? Even the Bible talks about the firmament.
The Bible talks about a lot of shit. We ain't going there.
Just saying. Even the Bible says it's flat.
No. Okay. No. No, I get it. Conspiracy theory. My conspiracy theory is going to be different.
All right, come on, let's hear it.
No. Well, you guys, after you. I don't want to infringe this day is all about you two. This for me. This is painful. So, why don't you go ahead and give us your conspiracy theory? Oh my God! Did you light your conspiracy cigarette?
No, this is actually a conspiracy joint.
I was trying to be nice for the kids.
Sorry.
That's so old-fashioned of me, though. Like, like it's so much worse to smoke a cigarette now. It's so much less socially acceptable. Clearly, I'm a child of the '80s. Like it's just harmless tobacco.
This is for my arthritis.
I'm sure that's coming back with the sun. Light a cigarette, get a suntan,
Yeah. Got it.
Marlboro's,
That's free, dude. Let it make you.
Marlboro's, real Coke. Oh, live life. All right, give it to us,
So,
Brad. What do you
all
got?
right. So I know we're having a good laugh about the birds, but unfortunately, my conspiracy theory is rooted in 100% truth. Um, there's no, there's no conspiracy about it. So I talked last time we had conspiracy Sundays about 9/11, how it was an inside job, and how it was planned in an effort for us to go to the Middle East. And they blamed it, or they said that they had weapons of mass destruction in the Middle East and that they had to be stopped. And we could not let them continue this the same way with Iran and how we just bombed the shit out of them. But anyhow, we said that the Middle East had weapons of mass destruction and they had to be stopped, and Saddam Hussein had to be eliminated. However, it was later proven that there were no weapons of mass destruction at all. There was nothing found, even though we were in the Middle East for 20 years post 9/11, fighting this war on terror that was completely made up. So then the first,
Yeah, that's true. I was no argument there.
Yeah. So then everybody's like, well, they went for the oil, control the oil and blase skip and this and that. And I'm sure that it did not hurt us to control the oil that was being produced in the Middle East and Iraq and Afghanistan. But I don't think that that's why we went there at all. That was just a bonus. If we do this next Sunday and you haven't completely given up on this, I'll talk about the lack of a centralized bank in Iraq before we went over there. But for now, I'm going to stick to why I think we went overseas. So, my brother is a military veteran who served in the Middle East. And I can tell you that he was not guarding oil fields and he was not searching for terrorists. But I can also tell you that he was, in fact, guarding opium fields. That is a very matter-of-fact thing that he was doing in the Middle East. Because in America at the time, we had Purdue Pharmaceutical. Purdue Pharmaceutical was creating an opiate epidemic in the country. It was destroying lives. We saw it with OxyContin, what that did to people. The doctors overprescribed it.
We did see that.
Yeah, you know what I mean? As somebody in recovery myself, I saw it firsthand. I lived it.
And just the Appalachia area, too. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Like, our area.
Yeah, that's where we're from. So getting overprescribed painkillers was like so easy. Like, they're like, oh, you got some arthritis in your knee. Here's drugs. Like, they were prescribing for everything.
Mm-hmm. Well, because it was, remember they said it was not addictive, right? It was the non-addictive alternative to pain management.
Yes. They told us that you couldn't get addicted to OxyContin and that they were making them even bigger milligrams. They were making 160 milligram OxyContins. That's insane to me. As someone who abused OxyContin, a single 160 milligram pill is out of fucking control. However, it was becoming very apparent that these drugs were bad for people. So something had to be done to save face. So Purdue ended up having to pay a shit ton of money. And now getting pain pills is like not a thing. You know what I mean? There's got to be a very, very serious reason for you to get any sort of pain management now at this point. But there was an abundance of heroin when they took the fucking prescriptions away from us. There was an abundance of heroin. It was everywhere because we had simply cut out the middleman. So they take it from these prescriptions are affecting all these people, and it got the demographic that they didn't want it to get because it started affecting Caucasian people. And then they were going to take that same opium and do what they did with crack in the 80s and put it into the hood and hope that it would take out the African American population. And then it fucking didn't. It got the fucking whites. And they're like, oh shit, we got to do something. So then there's fucking rehabs everywhere. Rehabs are popping up everywhere. We're going to save you from the problem we started. So we are bringing in the drugs. We are dealing the drugs. We are then creating the treatment centers that don't save you. I'm grateful for the treatment center that I went to, but treatment centers are not the answer to, you know what I mean, to getting off of these drugs. So now they're just making money through and through, and they're killing off the
Medicaid
lesser
fund.
thans. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, but they're clearing off like the lesser thans, like the, you know what I mean, like the deplorables or whatever they want to call them, like the problematic members of society.
Hmm.
They're like, oh yeah, well we're just gonna kill them off. Essentially, they'll die.
The poor, essentially,
Right.
if you will, in a word.
So they're doing that, and then they're putting them in these treatment centers, making money on that. The Medicaid fraud, which is rampant, and recovery centers, like it's very obvious. There are recovery centers getting shut down all the time, but they're making money on all of this, and it was population control. The same way with fentanyl. If the government did not want these drugs here, they would not be here. It's that simple. If Donald Trump can sit there and say that there are no border crossings and there are no illegals coming into our country, then I don't understand how he can say that there's absolutely no fentanyl coming into our country. Like, if you can protect our border like that, then why are you allowing these drugs into the country? Because you swear they're coming from overseas. But for some reason, they're killing our kids and they're killing our brothers and they're killing our sisters. And they're like, this is all happening because that's what America does. This is all a chain effect of what I think 9/11 was. And now we are losing people at an alarming rate. There are like areas in Philadelphia of literal zombies walking the streets because that's all it is now. It's an open air drug market.
Yeah.
And the government is allowing this. The government puts the drugs on the street. You think somebody in the projects just woke up one day and was like, hey, I think I got an idea of how we can cook this and turn it into fucking crack. No. Ronald Reagan was like, the new drug is crack, and here's how you make it. And then flooded the fucking ghettos with it. And then they did the same fucking thing with opiates. It's just wash, rinse, and repeat, dude.
Yeah, it is. I think I want to point out that you know that it was a racial thing too, because when it was crack, it was a war on drugs, right? We went to war on the people selling it, on the people using it, on the people, and then you look at the way that we responded as you laid out when it started to affect the white community. Like, it is 1000% a racial thing. Like, it was 1000% a racial thing. So I don't want that to get. I know that you didn't lay it out, but I just want to reiterate, pinpoint, put a pin in that, and like really focus it on that.
Yeah, they made the possession for crack so much worse than possession of cocaine in the 80s. Like, the penalty for the possession of crack as opposed to possession of cocaine were two completely different charges because they thought it would affect the African American and the black population worse than it would affect the white population.
Yeah.
But yeah, so mine isn't a conspiracy theory at all. That's exactly what happened. All because 9/11 was an inside job.
Yeah.
Paper passports and the goddamn rubble, John. But yeah, so that's mine. I know it's like, I don't know. Maybe it's a conspiracy theory. Maybe I'm absolutely telling the truth based on physical evidence that I've seen in my own life.
Yeah. That's really good. Yeah, that's what it's close to home. Yeah,
I know, because I know that 9/11 hurts, and it does. People died, and that is terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. It is, and people are continuing to die as a result of it, though.
That's the thing about all these wars, and we see them. Like, it all comes down to so much greed, on top of the greed, and bad people take advantage of these unstable situations over and over and over again. Yeah. 20 years with the war in Iraq and Afghanistan gave plenty of opportunity for all kinds of corruption. So yeah, now I wouldn't even label that one a conspiracy theory. Let's go from conspiracy theory to laying out some facts. I guess the conspiracy end of it is the government involved. And I say that the U.S. government is involved in so many things in one very important way, and that is complicity. Right? They don't do shit to help or to stop any of it, right? Whether or not they are, and whether or not you can prove that they are actively involved or not,
that's the thing.
Yeah, you could tell they're certainly not. We're not making any effort in Gaza under any administration, right? We made no effort. So we are like, maybe we're not like actively sending our soldiers to do the shooting, but we don't stop our contractors from helping them out.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, and the contractors too is a big part of the whole moving of the drugs during that war too. Like U.S. contractors with carte blanche to fly back and forth, pack the shit, smuggle these drugs. They would always want to blame immigrants on fucking drug problems, but it's never that. Like it's not. There's not these people that are coming here for a better life are not coming here because they're criminals. They're fleeing criminals.
Yeah.
People who bring drugs to this country, the real people who bring drugs to this country, have much money. There's probably a couple of them on the Epstein list. I would not be surprised to find fucking people who smuggle large amounts of drugs, especially during the 80s and 90s. You talk about, cocaine and all that too. Like that's so many white collar users of the powder. That shit was flying in commercial. So
yeah.
Now we're here. All right.
So that's fine. It's sad if it's true.
It is sad. Mine might be true too. I don't fucking know. It is being adjudicated in the court of law, but there are parts of it too that are beside this that aren't currently being adjudicated. That I think we should talk about too. So let me find the right video. I can. What do I do with it? Here it is. All right, this is kind of long. We're not going to listen to the entire thing, but you're going to get the general idea of
who won the 2024 election.
I have to tell you that I did a careful analysis of the numbers, and if it were not for ugly Jim Crow racist vote suppression tactics, Kamala Harris would have had an additional 3,565,000 votes. She would have won Wisconsin, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Georgia. She would have had 286 electoral votes. She'd have won the popular vote by about 1.25 million, and the Electoral College by 286 electoral votes. Now, how the heck do I get this stuff? It's all from government figures. I've been doing, for 25 years, I've been doing work as a forensic economist. This is my specialty for the U.S. Justice Department, for several American attorneys general. And in the past couple of years, I've been doing, and for 25 years, I've been working on vote suppression calculations. And these are numbers that I've provided in reports, technical reports for the ACLU, NAACP, Black Voters Matter, and we go into federal court with these numbers. These are hard numbers from U.S. government statistics. 3.5 million more votes for Kamala Harris if it weren't for ugly tactics. And I'll give you a few and give you some of the breakdown if you'd like. For example, the year before the election, leading up to the election, and this is an official figure from what we call the United States Elections Assistance Commission. Believe it or not, we have an agency until I'm afraid to mention it to Mr. Musk because it'll be gone tomorrow. But we have an agency which not only tracks all our voting, but it tracks all the non-votes. Because the nasty little secret of American democracy is we don't let everyone vote, every citizen vote, and we don't count every ballot. There's no other nation which disqualifies so many voters. So according to the U.S. Elections Assistance Commission, just before the election, 4,776,706 voters, almost 5 million voters, were purged from the voter rolls. They were literally eliminated from the voter rolls without any solid evidence, zero. I'm not talking about people who died. I'm not talking about people who moved or people who are too crazy to vote and have a court order that says they can't vote. And let's go to Georgia to tell you how this breaks down. For the ACLU and for Reverend Jesse Jackson's legal team, Black Voters Matter, we went into federal court. I had done a study for the ACLU in which I took the 500,000 people that they purged in Georgia, and I brought in the experts who work with Amazon and also the United States Postal Service, turned over the list to these experts, and with their computers, and believe me, Amazon knows where you live. They do. And so does the Postal Service. And what they came back with was 198,000 people on that list who supposedly didn't live in Georgia anymore or their voting address. They gave us the names and addresses of 198,000 voters who should never have been removed from the voter rolls. That alone took Georgia. There are other tricks too. And it's not just any, if it were random, it wouldn't matter. But we for those of you who are statisticians, I used to teach statistics. We did a sample of 800 of these people who were purged. And what we found is that overwhelmingly, they were voters of color, black people, and a lot of young people who are also voters of color because the color is blue. It's not random. You remove 198,000 legal voters, and not just, and by the way, those are numbers. I want to remind you, if you saw my film, I was at the polling station in Atlanta when one black person after another is being thrown out. Oh, you're not on the rolls. You can't vote anymore. But then there was one 92-year-old woman in a walker who was thrown out after she'd been voting at that same station for 50 years. They said, no, you can't vote here anymore. And so I went with her to the house down the street that they said she didn't live in anymore. And there was a picture on the wall of Martin Luther King having dinner with her. I said, you knew King? She said, my cousin, he came here after church every Sunday. Martin Luther King's 92-year-old cousin was thrown off the voter rolls. If they can throw her off, you can imagine that a lot of other black people thrown off. So these are the hard numbers of how it's done. There's also some other tricks. If you saw in my film Vigilantes, and I'm not making money off this, you can, Leonardo DiCaprio and Jamie Foxx have put up the funds to make this film available for free streaming at gregpalast.com. And what you'll see is the brand new trick, the KKK trick. It's vigilante vote challenges. Our film is called Vigilantes, Inc., America's New Vote Suppression Hitmen, for a good reason. For the first time since 1946, we've had mass challenges of voters. And what does that mean by individuals? Now, what I mean by that is, for example, Greg Palast can say Crystal Ball should not be allowed to vote. I don't know where you live in New York or whatever. She doesn't live where she says she lives. Don't let her vote. Now, who's Greg Palast to say that? The answer is nobody, except I'm just a self-appointed vigilante. And this is something that the Trump campaign resurrected for 2024 nationwide. The old Ku Klux Klan method of individual challenges of voters, because they realized that they still have these old Jim Crow segregationist laws on the books where people could be challenged. In 1946, the Ku Klux Klan set out to challenge every single black voter in Georgia, and they removed enough through these individual challenges. Again, this is not government challenging people. These are self-appointed vigilantes knocking you off the voter rolls. And in 46, they elected a Klansman, Eugene Talmadge, as governor of Georgia. He was about to get arrested, but he drank himself to death just before the FBI was about to handcuff him.
Wow.
And now the Trump campaign has resurrected this through a group called True the Vote. As of August, beginning of August, 3 months before the election, they had already challenged, proudly claimed that they had challenged 317,886 voters. And if you see the film, you get to see some of the challengers. Like there's one woman who works at Marjorie Taylor Greene.
We'll pause it right there. Guys, get some of the idea there, right?
Voter suppression, stealing elections.
Voter suppression, stealing elections. I thought it was really striking. They could challenge someone as like Martin Luther King Jr.'s cousin. Like that was really fucked up. And then the resurrection of these segregation laws, and the idea that any voter can challenge the election is what has brought the case in New York.
Yep.
About Kamala Harris's that's being challenged in court, Kamala Harris's, because it's really not. It was never about Kamala Harris to begin with. It was about another local elected official who thought the results were skewed, challenged the election, and they found so many votes on tally, so many irregularities that it is going to be adjudicated. So part of this is conspiracy, and part of this is reality, and all of it's fucked up, and it's all tied together with the idea that we were talking about with the gerrymandering. Did you know that the man that we showed who was running for Congress in Houston, Isaiah Martin, who was the one who was proposing that blue states get ahead of the game and start gerrymandering? You guys remember that video with Isaiah Martin? No? It was the first time we introduced it on the show. Well, they arrested him, and the Republicans had him arrested at at an event and put in jail. That's how seriously they take their voter suppression. And so, whether or not you believe that this election there's irregularities in the voting machines, which there does seem to be a lot of evidence of that in this in these court filings. Whether or not you believe that or not, like what is definitely true is that the GOP works to suppress the vote everywhere because they know they can't win, and they're working extra hard to do even more of that right now. And so we have to stay extra vigilant. I'm sorry, I couldn't do the flat Earth thing, man. I just couldn't do it. Like I just couldn't bring myself. I've listened to these people that are talking about non-vampiric fucking. It was too much. But the fact of the matter is, there's people out there who will believe this shit, believe the wildest things, because who knows? There's a lot of reasons I've heard. None of them really justify any of it. But there's enough people who think that the election was stolen. They allow things like True the Vote to exist so that they can steal elections. It's fucking incredible. Just absolutely fucking incredible. So
voter suppression is the name of the game for Republicans. But I really thought we were about to go down the rabbit hole on her losing the election.
Me
no,
too.
I'm really not. I'm holding off the lunacy, for later. I don't want to go overboard because I'm not going to be that person. What I will say though is that it's fucked up that there are so many irregularities, and there's the videos too. You think about like with Elon Musk and Donald Trump have said so many cryptic things about the election, especially in Pennsylvania, and how much Elon knows about the machines, and how Elon said that voting machines, like you would never use a machine because they're too easy to hack. You can hack anything with software. Blah blah blah. Like with all these things, all this cryptic bullshit, and the fight about what they had when they broke up, when they were talking about like who won Pennsylvania, whether or not Donald Trump could have won without Elon Musk. Yeah. It's I don't think they meant because he showed up at his rally and showed his tummy. I don't think that was what won him the state. I think what it was, if you want to be honest with it, you want me to go down a rabbit hole? Want to know what I think he thanked Elon for? The money to stage the Butler assassination, and the money to fuck the voting machines, and the money to steal the fucking election.
Hell yeah.
I really think that $300 million, like, I think that's plenty to buy the election. I think it's plenty. God knows a couple $100 buys every Chiefs game. So why should the U.S. election cost much more than that? It's fucking insane. So yeah, I mean that's as far down the rabbit hole as I can go right now. But if this is going to be a continued thing, like you're probably going to hear me continue to find things to tie these loose strings together. And I don't know, like we got a little string around Georgia. Got a lot of strings in Pennsylvania and a couple strings leading over to New York. So, maybe instead of coming up with the conspiracy theories and talking about them, it seems that I'm creating my own. So how about that? You guys wanted me to get into conspiracy theories, and instead of getting into other people's conspiracy theories, I'm out here fabricating them out of thin air.
I like it.
Words are real caught on. You can make it catch on.
Yeah. It's not fetch. It can be a thing.
Mm-hmm. I'll talk about flat Earth. Don't worry about it.
All right. Yeah. I also thought about that too. Like, why would I want to steal your fun?
Mm-hmm.
Watch a bird follow you to work on Tuesday.
Yeah, we don't want it presented by a non-believer.
Right.
Jesus. I will recommend to you the Wu-Tang Clan has they have a podcast, I think it is. But there's just clips on TikTok, and they have a man called Flat Earth Dave, I believe is his name, on. So if you want to, my God, if you really if you insist on hearing some things about flat Earth, there's a little material for you. Also, if you want commentary on the commentary, there's a show called The Discourse. That's an offshoot of the Majority Report. That's pretty good.
All right.
Yeah, but at least I'll be ready to talk about flat Earth and how the Antarctica is the crust of the pizza pie that we're all floating through the sky on, or whatever. how the Earth is only 8 miles or 8 kilometers deep because once they've drilled so far, they can hear the screams from hell. So that's all I know.
Hollow. She really can't dig that far down.
But as far down as we've ever dug, you can begin to hear screams coming from the abyss. So they know it's not a circle.
There's nothing in the center.
Nothing.
Nothing. Because it's not a circle. You can't drill down too far because you're going to fall the way through. That's why we didn't dig deeper.
I mean, it does seem less ridiculous than like being told that you can dig to China, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, man. All right. That's it. No more conspiracy for today. Done.
Okay.
Put the pegboard away.
Oh.
Wrap up the photographs. Turn the lights out in the red room. Like, it's good.
You just wait till next week. I'm gonna piss John off so bad.
Yeah, you didn't do too bad of a job. And actually, I was happy for the opportunity to talk a little bit about addiction because there really is so much going on quietly with an executive order basically criminalizing the homeless and addicts, targeting people on the streets. RFK Jr. pulling back the free Narcan program. I mean, people are going to die. They're going to continue to die. And as I said, if they're not full-on responsible for it, you can definitely say they're complicit in it. And Brad will say that they're definitely responsible for it, I'm sure.
Oh, they're definitely responsible for it. And also, the new executive order pretty much allows for the reopening of insane asylums.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. No, that's exactly what it does. And those insane asylums will just be more private prisons, just like all of the goddamn alligator camps that they're building all over the goddamn country. And using FEMA money, many that will be needed and not there for people with emergencies, but that is a whole nother podcast. And we'll get to that, I'm assuming, sometime soon. But that's all the time we have for the night. I like to keep the conspiracy theory one under an hour if we can, or at least at an hour. I think that's where we're at now. Under an hour is laughable for us. We could do this. We could do this shit for days.
Good.
Yeah, but
I love Sundays. I don't feel as sad when we get off of here on Sundays.
Yeah, you just need, and this I think is the takeaway that everybody should get from this. No matter you hear something like, please don't just look at this thing and remember that it's important to touch grass, enjoy life, and laugh a little with your friends because this shit's stressful as hell. You can't dive headfirst into reality all the time. Every now and again, you got to take a hard left turn and talk about something weird.
Mm-hmm.
So I had a lot of fun.
Yeah, I love this one.
All right. Check us out. Thanks for listening. Like and subscribe. We're on TikTok, Instagram, Threads. Especially subscribe on YouTube because the algorithm on YouTube is strictly right wing. Betty Johnson somehow gained 2.2 million followers last week, which is just absurd beyond words. So yeah, help us out there. Help us out on Substack if you can. All of our stuff is free and always will be. But there is an option for a paid subscription if you'd like to help us out. Keep promote our pro-democracy cause. You can buy one of our t-shirts on derealizationnation.com.
Buy some merch.
Buy the merch, bro. Front and back printed, union made, union printed. Until next time, I'm John.
I'm Jake.
And I'm Brad.
And that's what's left.
Helen Keller was blind and deaf. She couldn't read or write. If you think she could, neither can you.